When 12-year-old Clay had his bike stolen in Louisville, Kentucky, he took up this sweet science so that he could whoop whoever took it. Soon Clay became an outstanding amateur fighter and picked up an Olympic gold medal in Rome in 1960. He returned to Louisville wearing his gold medal proudly around his neck, but his pride faded when he was refused service in an all-white only restaurant. This incident caused him to throw his medal into the Ohio River. On February 25, 1964, the 22-year-old fighter took on heavily favored champ Sonny Liston. Clay predicted victory over this big ugly bear to anyone who would listen. He beat Liston in the 8th round to become the heavyweight champion. After the fight, Clay jumped around the ring proclaiming he shook up the world. Shortly after the fight, he announced his membership in the Nation of Islam. A week later, the Nation of Islam leader, Elijah Muhammad, gave Clay his new name, Muhammad Ali. The champ embraced his name. Many people in press, including the New York Times, refused to refer to him by his new name. In 1966, Ali refused to serve in Vietnam, gaining his conscientious objector status. In 1967, he was found guilty for refusing induction into the armed forces. He appealed, but the damage was done. He was stripped of his belt and banned from boxing for 3.5 years. Ali appealed his local draft board's rejection of his application for conscientious objector classification. The Justice Department, in response, that Ali's claim should be denied, and wrote that Ali did not meet any of the 3 basic tests for conscientious objector status. The Supreme Court decision was handed down on June 28, 1971. The Supreme Court held that since the appeal board gave no reason for the denial of conscientious objector exempt to the petitioner, and it was impossible to determine on which of the 3 grounds offended in the National Justice Letter, the board relied. Ali's 1967 conviction must be reversed. The final vote was 5-3 to uphold Ali's conviction. Justice Thurgood Marshall did not participate. Ali also returned to the ring in 1971, taking on Joe Frazier, in the title fight dubbed the Fight of the Century. Frazier beat Ali in the first of 3 Savage battles. The fighters would engage in. After winning the belt back from Frazier in a rematch, he would later lose it to Ken Norton and receive a broken jaw in the process. Ali was getting older, but his greatest fight was yet to come. In October of 1974, Ali took on the seemingly invincible champ George Foreman. Ali knew he couldn't really dodge Foreman, but what he did know is that he could tire him easily. So he had what he called the rope-a-dope, where he would break the golden rule of boxing. He would get to the ropes of the ring and embrace himself on the ropes for support, and allowed Foreman to just pummel him until he could barely move his arms. That then gave Ali the chance to knock Foreman in the head and knock him out. In 1978, in a major upset, he lost the title to an underdog, Leon Spinks. Ali returned 7 months later to beat Spinks and reclaim the belt. On June 27, 1979, Ali announced his retirement, yet he stepped back into the ring 2 more times, officially retiring in 1981 with a record of 56-5. In 1984, Ali was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, which affected his speech and took a toll on his central nervous system. Despite his illnesses, he carried on the Olympic torch at the 1996 Games in Atlanta. In 2005, he was recognized with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Ali was not only a revolutionary fighter, but a revolutionary political figure in American history.